Good morning, Bill Benton here, BentOn Racing. We don't have Andrew Meeks behind the camera today. We'll probably see him later today. But anyway, look what we got. As Steve Carpy would call it, an old Snotter. Yeah, I picked it up, me and my brother did last night. 16-inch rear wheel. It's got a tank, and tank's up on the porch up there. But anyway, got a green tank on it too that matches. Got one little dent in it. Got some drag pipes on it. Came with the air box, grab rail, rear fender, and tail light. Got a seat that they cut down, but it still has a stock Honda cover on the top. Had some slightly higher rise bars that are bent over there, and then he had a drag bar on it that we'll be doing something with. As you can see, the wiring needs quite a bit. But I brought my little sink tank out. Yeah, you might recognize it if you've been in a hospital. Hopefully you haven't, and hopefully you won't be. But anyway, that's where it came from. It holds IV bags is what it normally does. And thank you, Ron Icard, for getting it for me. Oh yeah, and by the way, bring me back my ramp, bubba. Anyway, let's see here. He came last week and got a couple of frames. Borrowed my ramp. Wasn't there when I wanted to take it to, where was it? Barbara this past week. Yeah, see? He almost into the doghouse, but fortunately, I have other ramps. Anyway, Ron, hope you're having a good day. Sidetrack there, but you can see we got a pretty decent cover. Yeah, it looks like somebody went to Daytona somewhere. Got the little Starburst pin striping on it. Hopefully we can get that off. And they painted the shocks black. His idea was to make a bobber out of this Snotter. But as you can see, the old Snotter has pretty good looking fins and stuff on it. Like I said, got some wiring to do, that's for sure. Front rims and wheel don't look bad. Hey Keith, look, it's a double cut front fender. Unfortunately, it's a double cut he did. Yeah, we're gonna need to, do something up here with this, obviously. And the gauge backs ain't so good. But I don't know, I see a yellow and red wire there. You guys that know Honda 750s probably know if your right-hand handlebar switch goes out and quits button falls off or quits working, you can take your little yellow and red wire and pull it out your switch, and what it does when you push the button is it grounds it to the handlebar. So you can take that yellow and red wire, and it's this battery we got in here that has a lot of red wires coming from it, has power. We'll see if this baby will run. But first, we must always check the oil and see if there's some in there. Hey, there's oil in there, and it's about the right level. And there's oil on the stick. So I think we will give it a try and see if the old Snotter will run. It's a 74 motor and frame. Hey, and it came with a title. You know what it was, though? What this old Snotter was what we had to do back in the days. I was a mechanic technician back in the 70s. And I can't tell you how many of these things I did. Hey, Mr. Bill, I want you to put on 6-inch over fork tubes. As you can see, that's what this has. Oh yeah, Mr. Bill. And I want a double bucket or a king and queen seat, which is what this had. And a sissy bar, which is what this had, which we left with the owner we bought it from. Thank God. And also, it came with a 16-inch wheel, which we had to put on back then and take the 18-inch off. And I think he even said it had the lowering blocks on it that a lot of guys use. And drag pipes were definitely a prerequisite if you were going to do all this. And whatever happened to them stock pipes, oh God, do I wish I knew where them 300s and 341s were. And then, of course, you had to put the high handlebars on with the high cables, and it just, it's a lot to put handlebars on one of these and run the wires through it and extend the cables and do everything. And more than one customer, 5 years later, would bring it back and say, Bill, put it back the way it was, which we would. So anyway, I don't want to keep you too long. It's Sunday morning. It does have 34,402 miles on it. We'll see what we can do with this old Snotter here in the next couple of weeks, in this next week, hopefully. But hell, let's see if it'll run. Why not, huh? Let's see, I hooked my sink tank up, and this sink tank goes back all the way, guys, to 1980s when Honda of Atlanta downtown, the original Honda of Atlanta. I was service manager there, and this was what we used to sink the tank as our auxiliary tank when we were sinking carbs. So I can't tell you how many named people have used it. not me, but other ones. Anyway, we also had it at Roswell Fun Machines there for a while. So I had to keep it, but that's the history behind our little sink tank. So I'm hooked up, got one line pinched off. We ain't got no air filter or nothing, but we'll see what happens. Let's give it a try. All right, turn the key on, see if we got any power. Hey, we got a oil light. We got no neutral light. Oh, well, this might take a little finessing here. I got to, we'll see if I can crank it without the choke. It might. It don't have no spring on the carburetor, so I guess I can be the throttle cable pretty easy. All right, we will put the camera down here.